What's going on, fellas? I've got a 2012 Jeep Liberty here, and I'm going to use this truck to show you the location of the fuse for the starter and also the relay for the starter. And I'll go over with you a few aspects of how that circuit works. So both of those items are going to be located under the hood here. To open this up, you just push on these two tabs. Now, I'll first point out to you the location of the fuse for the starter. It's a 40 amp J-case fuse, and it's this one right here. So it will come out, you just gotta wiggle it a little bit. So that's how you remove that. And you really don't have to remove it unless you see that it's burnt out. You should be able to look through the front of the top of the fuse there and see if it's blown or not. Now the relay for the starter is right next to it. It's gonna be this one right here that I've written an S on. So that's the starter relay. And if you'd like to swap it with another relay as a troubleshooting step, I would suggest swapping it with this relay right here. That one is for the PCM, so not a good candidate, but you can swap these two as a troubleshooting step. And as far as removing this, you really don't even need pliers. You should be able to just wiggle it out like so. So just your standard 4-pin relay. And I'm gonna go over and I'll point out to you, there's 4 pins here. I'll show you what each one of those does. So one of those pins actually goes directly to the starter. And so if you'd like, you can apply power directly to that pin and see if the engine turns over. So that would be a pretty good troubleshooting step. Now the pin for that is gonna be this one right here. So you can apply power directly to that one. Now the pin that receives the power from the fuse is going to be across that. So that's going to be this pin right there. You should see power at that pin if this fuse is intact and the wiring is good and everything. Now these other 2 pins, those are for receiving a power and a ground to actually trigger or engage the relay. This upper left pin, that receives power. So this receives power from the integrated control box here. And this pin, that's what starts it all off. So the power is constantly there. This pin only receives power from the computer when you're attempting to start the vehicle. So when you actually turn the key to the start position, basically the engine computer recognizes that. It runs through a few checks. It checks to see if the engine is already running. It checks to see if you're in park or neutral. And if those conditions are met, then you will see a ground at this right here. So yeah, again, you can try swapping the relays. What I would do is I would check to see if you're getting a power and a ground here when you're attempting to start the car. If you are getting a power and a ground, the computer is doing its part of actually trying to get the car rolling. If you don't see the ground coming in, you may want to get a scan tool to communicate with the computer and see if there's any trouble codes or any reasons why it's not, attempting to start the vehicle. But yeah, that's about all I got for you here today. I hope this was helpful for you in troubleshooting the starter on your Jeep. Please let me know if you have any questions, or more importantly, if you've got any advice about troubleshooting the starter on your Jeep Liberty. Thanks for watching.